Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the latest edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Listen, I just had to get at you this morning. I'm on my way to work, and I would be remiss if I didn't get at you this morning. Listen, game one is in the books, and I'm not going to sit up here and tell you I told you so. But I will say this. It went just as I thought it would go. I'm not naive. I'm not gonna gloat over one win. And by the way, I'm not a Golden State fan. I just like Golden State in the series. But I am also a LeBron hater. So on the court, off the court, I respect that man to the fullest. On the court, I'm a hater. But game one went just as I expected it. I expected Golden State to win by 20. A lot of things that I saw last night is why I think that this series would be a quick series and that Golden State would win it in 5. I've never been one of those guys that thought that LeBron is this great on-the-ball defender. I always thought that LeBron always defended a weaker opponent and it helped him on weak side help, where that's where he got a lot of his blocks and the majority of his steals. Last night, if you are one of those fans that think that LeBron James is a great on-the-ball defender, well, he got exposed last night. Kevin Durant did what he wanted against LeBron. Now, granted, LeBron did what he wanted, and I thought LeBron could have did more. So many times LeBron went up in the air with the ball and looking to pass it, and he had 8 turnovers, opposed to no steals. And this is what I was saying about the difference that Kevin Durant will make on the court. Not just so much his points or his production, but the fact that LeBron didn't have any steals is because he never left Durant to go help somebody on the weak side or to play the passing lane in the middle or anything like that, because he can't leave Durant. What makes matters worse, he got exposed as an on-the-ball defender because he was slipping and sliding on the court all day long as Durant was running past him. And the other factor, and this is what makes Golden State so tough, and this is why I like Golden State over a lot of teams in series, is because when Draymond Green is at the 5, you have a choice to make. Do you bring Tristan Thompson up on the perimeter and allow him to guard him? Or do you go small? But whatever you decide to do, it doesn't matter, because now you don't have a shot blocker in the paint. And we cannot count how many dunks that Kevin Durant had, or how many layups that he had, that when he went past LeBron, there was no help defender at the basket, no shot blocker. That's a nightmare matchup for any team and for most teams, is when Draymond Green is at the 5. It wasn't a stellar performance by Klay Thompson, but you have to admit his defense out there. I mean, he had one possession where he was defending Kevin Love, the bigger opponent, and he just made it difficult. He didn't do too much on the scoring side, but his defense was noted out there. Steph Curry, I can't believe I'm saying this over and over again, but one of the reasons why Steph Curry will do well in this series is because you don't have Dellavedova out there harassing him on the perimeter, causing him fits, and not only that, causing Golden State to get into their offensive sets with about maybe 10 seconds or less on a shot clock. With him being guarded by Kyrie, Steph Curry can do whatever it is that he wants to do. And when it comes down to that one-on-one battle, sure, neither one is going to stop neither one. Klay Thompson is probably going to guard Kyrie Irving, but whoever gets the best of that, their team is probably going to win. And last night, I believe Curry got the best of it. Curry had somewhere around 26, 28 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds last night. Kevin Durant had 38 points and 8 assists last night. Just a phenomenal job by those two. Could they be the top 2 tandem in the league? Perhaps they are. going up maybe against the second best tandem in the league, in LeBron and Kyrie Irving. If Cleveland is going to make this a series that goes beyond 5 games, Tyronn Lue has to make one adjustment. I said it in yesterday's show, and I'll say it again. The bench is giving you absolutely nothing in Cleveland. They only scored in garbage time. You have to put J.R. Smith on the bench and start Shumpert. That's the only way. J.R. Smith can ignite that second unit. Once upon a time in New York, when J.R. Smith was coming off the bench, playing that 6-man role, I think he even won the 6-man that year. He played with Steve Novacek. Those who remember Novacek, the sniper, the sharpshooting 3-point shooter. He fed off of J.R. Smith when they came on the court together. Maybe you bring J.R. Smith off the bench along with Kyle Korver. Maybe that helps Kyle Korver. Because right now, Kyle Korver's on the back of a milk carton because he is MIA. MIA. Lue has to make an adjustment. Darren Williams, I told you guys yesterday, he's going to hurt himself because he thinks that he is better than who he is now. And as a result, he's going to hurt the team. Darren Williams did nothing at all yesterday to warrant playing time on Sunday. Cleveland has troubles. Yeah, by names, their bench is better than Golden State. By names, so we say. Iguodala is a starter on any team besides these 2 teams. And you know what? If Iguodala was in Cleveland, he could start at the 2. He's a starter. He comes off the bench. He knows his role. He plays tough defense. There was times he was guarding LeBron. He made it tough. The key to beating Cleveland, and one of the reasons why LeBron didn't pile up too many assists, he had 5, is because they played him man-to-man. Very rare you saw a double team when he went to the basket. That is why he had so many turnovers, because he was expecting the double team to come, and he jumps up in the air to pass the ball, and guess what? His teammates would defend it because nobody was rotating. They was allowing one-on-one for Durant, one-on-one for Iguodala. Just a few times I've seen a double team come. This game was well played. And here's the thing. Yeah, I know it was 10 years ago when LeBron and Mike Brown went to the finals together. And I know that was 10 years ago, LeBron. The difference between that LeBron and this LeBron is clearly what he was trying to do 10 years ago, he can do it now. He's polished. He's polished. He's greater. He's better. Shots that didn't drop then are dropping now. Layups that he wasn't making then, he can make now. But he still has the same game. And in fact, that LeBron was probably better than this LeBron in the sense that LeBron did more takeover. This LeBron is trying to be a stat stuffer by always looking to get the triple-double or high numbers and assists. Instead of taking over the game, he's looking to get everybody involved when he needs to take over the game, like he did once upon a time in that playoff series against Detroit when he was in Cleveland to propel him to the championship. Again, they played LeBron one-on-one, whether it was Durant or Iguodala. He expects the double team. He gets up in the air to throw the ball out, and it was a turnover. He had 8 for the day, maybe 1 offensive foul. So all his turnovers, 7 of them was on the offensive side. Well, they all was on the offensive side, but in the case of where he was trying to throw that ball out to someone. I thought Mike Brown, who I said would be the X factor, coached an excellent game. I mean, with this team, it's very little coaching that needs to be done. People know their roles, they accept their roles, and they go out and they execute and perform. I thought David West was pressing a little bit. He looked a little bit like the stage was too big for him. He was coming up short. He was kind of lame. McGee came in, gave them a quick 7 minutes that, to me, might have helped change the game a little bit. He was very effective. Just his presence alone, extra rebounding, just being athletic, a couple of layups, I think it was, or dunks, actually a couple of dunks. Just everybody came out and contribute and chipped in. And as I said, Golden State by 20, they won by 22 or 24. And a buddy of mine, Skip, he posted on my Facebook page this morning. He said Cleveland would be a different team on Sunday. Yeah, I agree. Instead of losing by 20, they'll lose by 8 to 10. So this one here is not going 7. They don't have an answer for all the firepower that Golden State has. Again, with LeBron guarding Kevin Durant, he cannot rotate and help cheat, play the center field, cut off passing lanes, and get into it and try to get steals. He's not going to be able to do that. And he cannot stay with Kevin Durant. He's going to spend too much energy trying to guard Kevin Durant. And here's the thing. What I like about what Mike Brown did, and this could be helpful for Cleveland as well. 14 years into the league, one of the biggest advocates complaining about rest and why he should have rest. And maybe now I understand why he has rest. LeBron James cannot continue to lead the league, whether it's regular season or playoffs, in minutes. He cannot. If you watch what Golden State did last night, Golden State had their steady rotation. Guys came out when they were supposed to come out. At that rate, they're going to be fresher. They're going to be fresher, and Cleveland is not. As a result of it, you're going to find LeBron in the fourth quarter, winded, while these guys, perhaps Durant and Curry, remain fresh. Because they're getting their steady regular season rotation. And what that says to me is that, A, there's confidence in the bench. B, why is there confidence in the bench? Because the bench excels. The bench executes. And C, and this might be the biggest of them all, why get away from what got you there? If this is the way we play and conduct ourselves, got us to this point, why should we get away from it? Because it's playoff basketball, we should shorten the roster? Or shorten the bench? When the bench has contributed to this success? So, again, as Mike Brown being the X factor, person who knows LeBron's moves, knows how to play him, I thought he would be key and instrumental, and he came up big. He came up big. He didn't let a run by Cleveland get too big. He called the necessary timeouts. He kept a steady rotation, and as a result of it, Golden State wins big. And now the adjustments need to be made by Cleveland. And I question, is Lou capable of making that adjustment? And to me, the only one thing you can do if you're Cleveland, the adjustment, is take J.R. Smith out of the starting lineup and bring him in off the bench and hope that that ignites your bench. Because the bench, you can find a bench in any lost and found department of any business. With that, I'm out. This is Ramel for Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Y'all be good. Have a blessed day.